get on with it then. So you're standing with your feet about the same distance as your hips or your shoulders apart, feet parallel to each other. So the same distance between the inside of the toes, heels, and the knees. Keep that bend in your knees the whole time. Imagine you have a long ponytail on the top of the head. Imagine this is tied up to the ceiling or tied up to the heavens. So you have the feelings if you are suspended from above. Your pelvic area tilted forward, feels like it's hanging down from that suspension from above. You feel like you're sitting down as well, like you're sitting down onto a high stool and releasing and relaxing your legs like you would if you're sitting down onto a high stool. So you're not locking your legs out, just relaxing legs and sitting down. Imagine you have a ball in your belly that's about 3 fingers below your belly button and in the center of the body. A fist-sized ball that's closer to your spine than to the front of the body. And you're taking the weight of the head down through the spine, down through that ball in the belly, and down through the legs into the ground. So you're perfectly upright. You're not fighting gravity by leaning forwards, backwards, or to the sides. Gravity is just pulling down through you, but make sure you're not collapsing. You still have that lifting feeling inside the body. You really feel like the skeleton is lifting up inside the body. And this is an intent thing. You're not doing this with muscles. Just imagine the skeleton lifting up inside the body. It's the gravity just pulling down through you, but not collapsing. Feel the skeleton lifting up inside the body. And again, this is an intent thing. It's not a muscular thing. Just imagine all the joints in between the bones opening up, filling and flushing with that lubricant that lubricates the joints. Put the mind into that ball in the belly, that area that's about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. And just start to turn it from side to side. Turning it from side to side, which sets your waist into motion and starts a slight shift of the weight from leg to leg. Somebody looking at you can't really see that shift of the weight of the body from one leg to the other leg. To them, it would look like you're just in the dead center. But you feel that slight shift of the weight from leg to leg. Turning, turning, turning. Make sure the movement is not coming from the hip flexor muscles around here. You're not just tensing the hip flexor muscles against the hips to get this movement. The hips are yin, so insubstantial. The Wei Lu, this area of the spine that makes up the pelvis with the iliums, plural. This part of the spine is substantial. This area is yang. So the weight of the body is going down through this area here. But you're not tense here. You're not just moving from there. You're moving from that area that's about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. Feel that, the dantian, that ball in the belly's connection to the Wei Lu, to the sacrum area here. You're just turning that ball in the belly, connected to this, and it's that what's keeping you in motion. So the hips are soft. You're not moving from here. The inguinal crease here, they're just folding in, opening and closing like the pages of a book. And make sure you're feeling the natural shock absorbing properties of your legs as well. So you're not locking your legs out and doing this, you're sinking down. As you sink down, the knee goes forwards, the hip goes backwards. Feel the shock absorbing properties of your legs, sinking down. And you feel the muscles in the legs tensing just as much as they need to. And with this just enough, you should be able to feel the elasticity of the connective tissue, the myofascia there. And make the hands into hollow fists and bring the hands up in front of you. So it's like a horse rearing up onto its hindquarters. The heel still coming off the ground, not as much as it was in the previous exercise, but the heel is still coming off the ground. Really feel this pump. You're rolling into the foot, heel to toe, toe to heel, and rolling out of the foot, heel to toe. And you're activating the pump of the plantar fascia or fascia that runs along the soles of the feet. And you send that pump up through the body and out to your fists. Make sure it's not going out through the chest or the ribs sticking out. It's not getting stuck in the lower back, curving in. So sink the chest around the upper back, pull the belly towards the back, or sink the ribs to fill the lower back. Sending this pump up through the body and out to your fists. Like a horse rearing up onto its hindquarters, front legs and hoofs in the air, mane fluttering in the wind, standing tall and confident, not to be messed with. Then open up your hands and throw one hand over the shoulder, the other hand onto the lower back. One hand onto the shoulder, the other hand onto the lower back. Hitting the body, hitting the shoulder and the upper back with the palm, hitting the lower back with the back of the hand. Tapping the lower back with the back of the hand. Okay, just let this settle down on its own. Okay, so heels together. If the feet are on the face of the clock, left foot will be pointing somewhere between 10 and 11, right foot somewhere between 1 and 2. Okay, so I want you to feel the connection between that ball and you haven't got a ball in your belly. You have an area that's about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. Visualize a fist-sized ball there in that area. This is your center of gravity. So it might be ever so slightly different in everybody. You want to find your center of gravity. are about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. I feel its connection to the Wei-Lu, or the sacrum part of the spine that makes up the pelvis. This joint, this sacroiliac or sacroiliac joint here. Feel that ball in the belly's connection to that. And I'll turn to the side for this. Keep the chest sunk, keep pulling your belly towards your back. Arms relaxed down by your side. And I just want you to kowtow, to bow forwards here. But you're moving from that ball in the belly and the sacrum, relaxing the hips, really connecting with your core, your deep frontal lines. Make sure the lower back isn't curving in the bum. Make sure the tailbone isn't sticking backwards. Push the tailbone forwards or down, forwards and up. Make sure the head's not lolling forwards. And then push the sacrum forwards using that ball in the belly. Bring yourself up and sit down to this posture. Should really engage your deep frontal line now. Relaxing the hips, taking the weight of the body down through the sacrum and the sacroiliac joint here. Nice and upright, really engaging your core. Arms relaxed down by your sides. Keep those small gaps underneath each armpit, as if you're cradling a small bird's egg underneath there without crushing or dropping those eggs. Arms at the sides of the body with these feelings. And touching your fingers onto your thighs here. Touching your fingers onto your thighs. Very lightly. Head as if it is suspended from above. Pelvic area is tilted forwards. Feels like it's hanging down from that suspension from above. And feel yourself sitting down, like you're sitting down onto a high stool. You can lift your toes off the ground. Drop all the weight back into the heels. Make sure the belly's not sticking out, the ribs aren't flaring out, the lower back isn't curving in, the bum's not sticking out. Sit down and lower the toes down. Head as if suspended from above. Then, if you can keep your balance and you feel comfortable, I want you to close your beautiful eyes. Closing your beautiful eyes. If you really have trouble standing and balancing with your eyes closed, you can do the visualization as if you're looking into the distance. Way, way, way beyond where you're standing. As if you're looking through a light mist or fog, and as if you're watching birds flying near distant clouds against the backdrop of a beautiful turquoisey blue summer sky. But closing your eyes if you can. We know when we stand and balance with our eyes closed, we really have to feel the balance of the body. This is interioception or introception, the inner feeling of the balance of the body. So we don't have those visual markers of our surroundings to know how we're balanced compared or in relation to them. So we really have to internally feel the balance of the body. This is proprioception, the inner feeling of the balance of the body. So closing your eyes if you can. Head as if suspended from above. Then I want you to relax all of your face muscles. Relax the muscles behind and around your eyes. And your eyes, if you do have them closed, they are not tightly closed. They're closed so you can't make any shapes or images from your surroundings out, but open enough so you can let a little bit of light in. And breathing in through the nose, if you can, of course. Very gently touching the tip of the tongue to the top of the mouth, just behind your front teeth. Your teeth are together, but they're not clenched, the same with your lips. Tucking your chin in, so not up or down, in. Keep the jaw parallel to the floor, but have the feeling as if the ears have been pulled back to pull the neck back against the collar of his shirt. And with the pulling back and the jaw parallel to the floor, you feel that lengthening in the cervical region of the spine, those 7 vertebrae of the neck. And you feel the skull lifting off the lengthening spine, but you're not stretching your neck. Your neck is nice and relaxed. Really feel like the head is floating on the neck, like a boat floats on water. This really opens up that gate at the base of the skull, the top of the spine, the jade pillow gate. So we're standing in stillness. Stillness of body and stillness of mind, which is hard. Really, really, really hard, especially if you have things, annoyances in your head or things you're thinking about. When you do try to be still, your mind will just keep going to those annoyances, those things you're thinking about. But we're trying to have a break away from thinking. You guys, you've been doing this for quite a while now, so you understand that concept. Or hopefully you do. To have a break from thinking and overthinking. And when people first hear that, they can't comprehend, how can you have a break from thinking? They identify themselves as being their thoughts. And we are not, we are so much more than just our thoughts. So we're having a break from thinking. So when thoughts, random thoughts away from what we're doing here, prop into your head, those random thoughts can come from last week, thoughts of the future, thoughts, memories of things that happened decades ago. When those random thoughts come into your head, don't follow those thoughts, don't feed them, don't let them turn into thinking. learn how to be a master over that thinking mind and not the slave to it. Every time you do notice your mind has wandered, just don't get annoyed at yourself. That's just counterproductive. Just take a breath in, recognize that the mind has wandered. As you breathe out, just bring yourself back. Remind yourself that's just thinking, and we're not doing thinking. And bring yourself back to your body. I want you to sink. You can open your eyes here for a second if you want. I want you to sink the weight of the body into your right leg. Turn ever so slightly to the right. Turn your hands so the palms are facing more behind you. Turn back to the left. And just step out to the side. Step out to your shoulder width, heels in line. Turn the waist back to the right to turn the left toes in. Push over from the right leg to the left leg. Turn the waist to the left to turn the right toes in. Settle down in the center, and you should have your feet about the same distance as your hips and your shoulder spot. Yeah, I'm going to try not to look down and check. So if you do feel you didn't quite get your shoulder width, just try and use your proprioception, your feeling of where the balance or where the different limbs of the body are just to make adjustments to bring you to your shoulder width. So we're standing here. So the hands, you can imagine you've got the hands are, or the backs, insides and the palms of the hands are level with the back of your body, the posterior of your body. Look into the distance. Way, 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 way into the distance. Way past where you are. And then bring your focus back. Back to front of your face. And then take it inside and close your eyes again. Then again, drop your awareness down to the area about 3 fingertips below the belly button and in the center of the body. Let your mind, your awareness, settle in that area about 3 fingertips below the belly button and in the center of the body. And again, you guys have been doing this for quite a while, so this is a familiar concept. But for people who've never done this stuff before, that thinking mind is saying, how can you put your mind into your belly? The mind's in your head where your brain is. We know the mind and the brain aren't the same thing. The brain is your internal computer, storing memories, programs, thought patterns, and kind of controlling your autonomous nervous or your organs that keep working autonomously without having to think about them. The mind is everywhere in the body. And in traditional Chinese medicine and Tai Chi, we say where the mind goes, the Qi will follow. So if you just associate your mind with your brain, your mind will be there the whole time and the Qi will go there and blood can flow with that Qi, causing headaches and more thinking. We're trying to slow or even stop that thought pattern. So just drop your mind to the area about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. And the mind will keep flicking up into the head, but just keep dropping it down, sinking it down. And this turning of the hands to the palms face more behind you than towards you can make your shoulders ache. So take a breath in through your nose to your belly. And as you breathe out, feel your shoulders releasing and relaxing with the out breath. Feel the weight of the arms weighing the shoulders down. Feel the balance of your arms and really send your awareness out to the fingertips. Feel the temperature of the air with your fingertips. Feel the air between your fingers, but not thinking about those things you're feeling. You have a hollow underneath each collarbone called the shoulder's nest. Take a breath in through your nose to your lower abdomen. And as you exhale, feel those nests relaxing, releasing. Feel the chest muscles relax, release. The ribs relax and release, and all sinking down. Make sure you're not sticking your chest out. Sink your chest to round the upper back, not hollowing the chest or hunching the upper back. Just sink the chest to round the upper back. Feel the shoulder blades, the scapula spreading out to the sides and ever so slightly down, really rounding your upper back and opening up that space in between your shoulder blades, the area that we call the ATTFE. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, feel that area in between your shoulder blades relaxing, releasing, dissolving. Make sure you're not sticking your lower ribs out. Sink your ribs to fill your lower back. Breathe into the belly, relax the lower back. But have that feeling as if you're pulling your belly from the inside towards your lower back. You can imagine you have a thread or a piece of string passing through the point in the shallowest point in the small of the back, passing through that ball in the belly and connected to the inside of your belly, just below the belly button. And use your mind to pull your belly towards your back. Which if your mind is still in your head and you're thinking, you'll find it hard to imagine this pulling. So pull the belly towards the back. And you're tucking your sacrum ever so slightly forwards. Pushing the tailbone towards the floor forwards and ever so slightly up. This should help to flatten the lower back. And with the head as if suspended from above, gives you the nice lengthening of your spine. Really feel the spine lifting up inside the body, the skull being pulled back by the ears and lifting off the lengthening spine. At the same time, feel the face muscles sinking down, the shoulders, neck, the chest, the ribs all sinking down. And push the bottom bone of your spine towards the floor, forwards and ever so slightly up. And again, do all this with your mind, your intent. Not tensing muscles to get this lengthening and alignment of the spine. You're thinking it. This neutral spine. Okay, opening your eyes. So your jaw is parallel to the floor, your neck touching against the collar of a shirt. You're pushing the tailbone towards the floor, forwards and ever so slightly up. And I want you to feel as if you're pulling your chin and your tailbone towards each other. And use this to push your arms up into this embrace posture. Your fingers are pointing in towards each other, your palms are facing towards your chest. Your fingers can be as wide as the shoulders, no wider than that. They can be close together. And about a handspan and a half to 2 times the handspan, the palms away from your body here. I've got very long arms, so find a comfortable place for you. Your hands want to be lower than your nose, but higher than your elbows. You can imagine here, your arms just your arms just balanced on the sides of the body. So the weight's not pulling you forwards or to the sides or pushing you backwards. Just taking the weight of the arms down through the body, relaxing the shoulders. You can imagine your arms are that finely balanced on your body that if a feather were to land on one of your arms, this tiny weight would tip the balance. Letting go of control of the arms and the shoulders. So you're tilting your pelvic area ever so slightly forwards, but you feel like you're sitting down. You can feel here like you're leaning against the wall. You want as much weight back in the heels as you can get without the toes coming off the ground, leaning against the wall, sitting down. And again, put the mind into that ball in the belly. If your mind is here thinking, oh, my shoulders are really aching, the more you think about the shoulders, the more the mind will go there, and the more the chi will flow there, and the more they will ache. Let them relax, like the mind. Let the muscles, the body, the mind relax and settle into a good posture, into a good tensegrity between the connective tissue and the bones, so you can let go of all unnecessary muscular effort. Tilting your pelvic area ever so slightly forwards, but it feels like it's hanging down from that suspension from above. So relaxing the hips, the buttocks, the pelvic floor, the perineum, relaxing these areas, engaging them, but not excessively tensing them. Feel the weight of the body and gravity dictating how much you engage these muscles. Relax the thighs, soften your knees to a real mental loosening of your knees. Relax your shins and your calves, loosen your ankles, relax your feet flat on the floor. So you're not gripping the floor with the toes. The weight's not all the way back in the heels. It's not on the insides or the outsides of your feet. Without changing your posture or using any more muscle. Breathing in, feel the whole of your skeleton lift up inside the body. Again, feel all the joints, all the spaces in between the bones opening up, filling and flushing with that fluid that lubricates your joints. Feel the bones floating on that fluid. Like you're floating, or like you're standing neck deep in water, supported on all sides by that water. Release and relax into that support. Breathing in, feel that lifting inside your body. And keeping that feeling, but as you breathe out, from the top of your head, all the way down to the soles of your feet, just feel the whole body relaxing down. Feel any tensions, any stresses, any worries, draining and pouring down through the body. And imagine, visualize them going out through the soles of the feet into the ground. You can imagine you bury them. Just let them go. You don't need or want them, so let them go. Okay, so we're standing here. And be aware of where your mind is going. Is your mind going, oh, come on, Ken, get on with it. Oh, this is really hurting. Or are you just going to that annoyed place? Or are you kind of letting yourself settle into it? That annoyance of the mind will make the body tense up more and make the muscles ache even more. And really affect your abilities to relax them. So that annoyance will make the body tense up. So relax and settle into this. Let your body find a natural tensegrity. Let that unnecessary muscular effort release. I'm afraid this is experiential. You have to go through that fighting of the mind to get to that true state of relaxation. But I'll let you do that in your own time. So take a breath in, as you breathe out, just release. Just feel your arms floating down. Floating down. Have a shake out. Shake the body out. Okay, so you're standing with your feet about the same distance as your hips or your shoulder part, feet parallel to each other. I want you to drop the weight of the body down through your right leg. You're going to turn your waist to we'll go again. So standing, I want you to drop the weight of the body down onto your right leg. You're going to push across from your right to left leg, turning your waist to your left, and use this to throw your right arm forward. Then you're going to push back from the left leg to right leg, turn your waist to your right, drop your right arm, throw the left arm forward. Right to left leg, drop the left, throw the right, left to right, drop the right, throw the left. And you have this same hand, same foot connection here. Feel the connection between the hand and the foot, the leg and the arm, feel the connection at the same time, simultaneously, then really relax this down, really relax this down. Just throwing the hand and arm forward, using the waist, or using the spring, the compression that you've been working on through your standing pose, the compression of the connective tissue, the sinew, the myofascia against the bones, which again, if the muscles are excessively tense, if the muscles are excessively tense, you won't be able to feel the elasticity of the connective tissue. Again, we know this is not mindless exercise. This is hard. Tai Chi is hard, really, really good for you, mind and body, but hard. That's where many people fall by the wayside. They can't be bothered to put the effort in. They want mindless exercise. They want health of the mind and the body, fitness of the mind and the body from doing very, very little. And that's it's an equation that doesn't really work in my head. You get out of it what you put into it. That's what I was always taught, and that is what you get from Tai Chi. Get out of it what you put into it. Okay, sinking down. The feet flat on the floor for the moment. So we did an exercise like this previously before the standing, where the heel was coming off the ground. The heel or the feet are staying flat on the floor at the moment, but you still feel yourself rolling between those two triangles that make up the feet. We have the two triangles, that triangle from the ankle to the heel to the balls of the feet, from the ankle to the balls of the feet to the toes. Those two triangles, we're rolling between the bases of those two triangles, activating the pump of the plantar fascia and sending that up through the body. So make sure, again, it's not going out through the ribs, not getting stuck in the curvature of the lower back. Pull the belly towards the back, sink the chest around the back, and send that pump up through the body and out to the fist, up through the connective tissue. So again, if the muscles are excessively tense, it won't go up through the body. It wants to go up through the anatomy trains and out to the fingers. And Tai Chi is based on principles, concepts, mind-body connectedness, not mindless exercise, not mindless. Okay, I want you to step forwards with your right foot. So you're in a bow stance now, in a bow and arrow stance, like if you're firing a longbow. And if you push forwards onto the right foot, raise the left heel and send the left hand out in front of you, right hand behind you. Oh no, out to the side, out to the side. So you have a 90-degree right angle between the foot. Sink back, arms go up. So weight on the left leg, right hand up in front of you, left hand out to the side. 90-degree right angle between the arms, up and back, up, back. So the heel coming off the ground, pumping, make sure the front right knee goes forwards in line with the toes. Again, relaxing the hips, inguinal crease, the area that we call the quad, the ball and socket, the head of the thigh bone, the femur, or the socket there. Relaxing that area. This area is yin, insubstantial. The way Lu, sacrum, is yang, substantial. And again, this is not hard, just hard and soft. We want a little bit of yang in the hips, a little bit of yin in the sacrum. Maintaining this 90-degree angle between your arms and making sure you can always see the hands out the corner of each eye. Swing your arms up, sink the chest around the upper back, pull the belly towards the back, sink the ribs to fill the lower back. Make sure you're not leaving the bum behind, keeping that good straight spine that we've been working on. So as you push forwards onto the front right leg, feel the connection between the right leg and the left arm that goes out in front of you. A substantial connection. As you sink back onto the left leg, feel the connection between the left leg and the right arm that goes up in front of you. Feel that transition from the substantial to the insubstantial, the yin to the yang. And then see if you can change legs without skipping a beat. Now you have your left foot forwards. You feel the connection between your left leg and your right arm when it goes forwards. And as you sink back, you feel the connection between your right leg and your left arm. Keeping that 90-degree right angle between your arms. Activating a pump, that connective tissue that runs along the soles of the feet. Keeping this going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And we're going to turn around and mirror you. Keep going, keep going. Okay, then just let this settle down on its own. Let it settle down on its own. Okay, head as if suspended from above. Bring your heels together. If the feet were on the face of the clock, left foot would be pointing somewhere between 10 and 11, right foot somewhere between 1 and 2. So you're going to need to be able to take 3 steps forwards. You need to be able to take 3 steps forwards. We're going to go forwards and backwards. Okay, we're just going to do the arms we were just doing in that last exercise. So breathing in, raise your arms up and take your Left hand out to the side, take your right hand out in front of you, keeping that 90-degree right angle, dropping down, breathing out, and turn to your right. Send your left hand out in front of you, right hand out to the side, breathing out. Breathing, make sure the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. You're still pulling your belly towards your back. You're still pushing the tailbone, or tucking the sacrum forwards, pushing the tailbone towards the floor forwards and ever so slightly up. Breathing in and breathing out. Really feel yourself pushing your arms up. So keep the neck touching against the collar of his shirt. Pulling back of the ears, the jaw parallel to the floor. Keep the jaw parallel to the floor. But have the feelings if you're pulling the chin and your tailbone up the front of the body towards each other, or up and down the front of the body towards each other. To get this movement of your arms, just pushing your arms up, sinking down into the heels. Make sure the bum doesn't stick out. Breathing in. Feel that connection between the ball in the belly and the sacrum. Pushing down through the legs into the ground and pushing your arms up. Breathing in and breathing out. And then as your right hand goes out in front of you, I want you to step forwards with your left foot. Breathing out, come back. And breathing in as your left hand goes out in front of you, touch the right toes down in front of you. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. This is an empty stance. In. Keeping that 90-degree right angle between your arms. 90-degree right angle between your arms. Making sure you can always see the hands out the corner of each eye. Breathing in. Breathing out. So you step forwards, touch the toes back, and as you step back, you roll into the foot toe to heel. So you're activating that pump. The connective tissue that runs along the soles of the feet, and you send that pump up through the body, up to your arms. Okay. Let's change it ever so slightly. So only lift your leg as high off the ground as is comfortable for you. Lift the leg up and point the sole forwards and down. So as you're lifting your left hand up, you're lifting your right leg up. Still keeping that 90-degree right arm between your arms. So if your mind is still scattered all over the place, you're still thinking about what you're going to be doing after this, you'll find this coordination really, really hard. And we have worked up to this. We have worked up to this. So if you're just giving lip service to the advice I was giving as mind-body connectedness as we were going through this, then you will be struggling with this. Say Tai Chi, Qigong, what we're doing here, they're not mindless exercises. Really keep bringing your mind back. If your mind keeps drifting away into thinking, every time you notice your mind has wandered, you just keep bringing it back. Okay, this next time, your right hand goes out in front of you. Step forward with your left foot. And don't bring it back this time, just sink down. Then breathing in, go forward, step forward with your right foot. Left hand goes out in front of you. Breathing out, step forwards with the left foot, right hand goes out in front of you. Let me just keep the feet flat on the spot here, just do one on the other side. And then as your right hand goes out in front of you, step back with your left foot. And as your left hand goes out in front of you, step back with your right foot. Breathing in, third one, we'll do this on the spot. One on the other side. And then we can go forwards again. So you always have the opposite leg forwards to the arm that's out in front of you. Let's take 3 steps forwards. Breathing in, breathing out, and on the third one, you do one with the feet flat on the spot, that moving them then step backwards. So when your left leg goes back, your right hand is in front of you. On the spot, and forwards again. This one is the Dragonfly Skims the Water. Like a dragonfly beating wings. We have done this before. Bring the heels together.